everybody, it's Kim. I just finished the Scrapbook Mini Album that I just did a tutorial on for how to put the album together, and I wanted to share it with you. Alright, so if you hadn't had a chance to watch the tutorial and this is the first time you've seen this, let me just quickly explain. This is a chipboard mini album where the pages are made from envelopes, which I made the envelopes myself. You don't have to do that. And it also has a hinge binding system, and I'll leave the information on who was the originator of that, and you can go to her website and see how she did it, or you can go back to my tutorial and see how I did it. Okay, so let's get started. I just used some brown Recollections cardstock. If you make a mini album like this, you want to use cardstock that is very flexible, that doesn't tear or rip, because you're going to need to bend it. This paper that I used for the outside cover, it's from Cherry Truffle Quick Quotes paper, designed by Joy. I've had it for a while. Excuse me, and I had to look at the back of it. Is that so cute? So that's the cover. The two little cards I fussy cut out, and I used my Tim Holtz distress tool. And this is the paper right here, and it's from Graphic 45. I gotta turn it the other way because it's upside down. And it looks like it says Craft Perfection, all decked out. And I got this at Joann's, plain on the back. And I cut out a plain card and then a king. This here came in the paper pack that I used, which is this one right here. It's the Tim Holtz, the Timeless Type Stack. I've had this for so long, I can't believe I have not used it. But I love it, and it's got, it's got a page in it where it's got tags and everything, and you'll see in the mini, I used quite a bit of them. Just not gonna waste my time going through every single page, but these little cork shapes right here, I got these at Target in a box, and I already took them out of the box and put them in a baggie, just because I don't have a lot of storage space. So if I put it in a baggie, then I can store things flat on it other than it being in a box. And I put those guys on there to stress that. Okay, opening it up, Tim Holtz paper, and then this is one of his stamps. And it's this one right here, Stampers Anonymous Visual Artistry Collection. I don't see a specific name, so we're just going to go with that. So that's what that looks like. And I stamped it on a piece of cream colored cardstock, and then I used my tea dye and a tiny bit of the peeled paint. I wanted both colors in there because of the green background. And I popped it up with a little bit of dimensional tape that I got at Walmart. This is distressed as well. And then the envelope I made from a green, I went back and looked through my stash, by the way, and it's the Die Cuts with a View. That's where I got the green. I used little vellum, I think these are Studio G vellum shapes, and I inked those up with my brown and my green, and I used these Recollection brads that look like little screws. I'm going to try to hold this up a little bit, and you can see one's like a Phillips head and then one's the flat. So that's kind of, I've had those for a long time too, and I'm glad I'm finally using them. Excuse me. Gosh. Okay, so there was a 12 by 12 sheet of postcard type things in the paper pack, and I used, maybe 5 or 6 of them in this album. So I just cut it out of the album, and on the back of it I just inked it. So if somebody's putting pictures together for the person that they're going to give this to, they can journal on that, or they can put a picture on it. This as well was in the album. Now what I did here is I took my photo corner punch, and this is an EK Success punch. I use that quite often, and I actually put it right here in the corners of here instead of putting it on here. Now, as I glued it down, I used my Zig two-way glue, and I just glued the, underneath the edges. And then as it was drying, I kind of put my tweezer behind there and made sure that there was enough space that the person could put a picture in there. And on the back, I stamped from this Fiskars stamp set, and it says, "It's the journey that matters most." I put that in upside down. That's funny. And I used the, what did I use here? Not the tea dye, but the darker one. Vintage Photo. I used Vintage Photo, and I inked up the edges. So that's that, and that's going to go right in there. These as well came in the, you know what, I think that might look better if I put that over here. My goodness. These came in the paper pack, and then I did the same thing. And on the back side, I stamped "Go Your Own Way" and a little bicycle. And that came from this Hero Arts stamp set. And this was in the clearance bin at one of the scrapbook stores that I shop at. Let's see if I can, sorry about the noise. HeroArts.com. And it doesn't really give a specific name. Happy Days Always, maybe. Travel, something like that. But it's got some really cool stamps in that one. So I love that one. So I did the backs of those. And that's for that page. This was in a paper pack as well. And I just left this alone. I didn't want to put photo corners on this one because it just wasn't looking right. So what the person can do is maybe use some double-sided tape if they have a picture that they want to put on this, and then I just inked the back. And then for this here, I cut out a, I think it's a 3-inch brown piece of cardstock, and then I took some, my goodness, some American Crafts cream-colored cardstock, and the first thing I did, so I opened it up and I found the part that's raised. And I took my distress tool with my Vintage Photo, and I just went over the part that's raised. And then I ran it through my Cuddle Bug, and that's how it turned out. Wow. I need a glass of water, but that's okay. And so that's that. And I tied some black and some green jute. And then these cutie patootie little keys came from this right here. I bought these at Michael's in, I think it was $1 or $1.50. And there was, one on each one. I loved those. I thought those were really cute too. And these are just circles that I punched out, but I cut in half. And again, when I glued the other side, the edges, I made sure that I could get my tweezers or even your bone folder or something in there so that the person could put their picture in there. And then I just inked the back of that. So that's that one there. The next one is all Tim Holtz paper on this one as well. And I used my little paper clips. And let me see if I put those away. I'm not sure. Oh, here they are. These are from Melody Ross. I've had these for quite a while, and it's oh gosh, I know you're going to want to buy these, and I can't find the Melody Ross. That's probably it. And I got these at Michael's, and then I did not use these, but I thought these were pretty cool. I just thought I'd share them with you. And I went ahead and used the matching ones here. This, I'm not sure where I got this from. I had it in my tag stash. I used one of the postcards, and I put a little bit of this numbered washi tape on it right at the bottom, just to kind of keep consistency with, this whole numbers and letters sort of thing that's going on here in this paper. Distressed this, and I inked it with a little bit of black soot. And I did that on both sides. And, on the back I did flags. And I also stamped, this is another Tim Holtz stamp, I believe. Yep, this one right here. Right across there with Memento black ink. This is just an AC Moore cream colored cardstock that I made the envelope out of. this is from the paper pack. This one was actually a tag, and then they had a 12 by 12 sheet that matched this. So I went ahead and cut out a 4 by 6 piece here. Now these little brads, I don't know where I got them from. I have them in a little container, and I saw those and I thought they looked good. Then in the back I said every possibility begins with the courage to imagine. I love that saying, and I just put a little tag that comes with that paper pack. And then I did the same here, but this one says Love Wish Dream, and that's a little tag as well. And the Love Wish Dream came from this Tim Holtz that I bought, this one right here. And then the other saying came from this Tim Holtz right here. So these little gears, I really had a hard time giving these up. I don't know if you guys do that too. I buy things and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to use that. That's too cute. But I got these at Michael's. And they're little, they just called them metal icons. And I put a piece of cream colored cardstock on the back of it and glued it in a fussy cut. I just wanted it to kind of pop out a little bit more. And then this tag came from the paper pack, and I just cut that out myself. And then the last page, I didn't really want to put any pockets or anything. So what I did was I stamped this here. This is a Hampton art stamp set. And yeah, there's no specific name to it, cling stamps. And then I used these really cute letters from Basic Gray. And there's a whole bunch of them in here, and I'm not really sure where I got these. I'm sorry. I think it's probably Joann's or Michael's. But I picked out the letters and just put laugh. So that's that. That's my album. You know, quite often I think I've finished something and then I'll go back and add some more stuff. But I think for masculine albums, you kind of need to be careful. You don't want to, shouldn't be too overwhelming for them. So, all right, if you have any questions, please just leave a comment and, you know, I'll get back to you on this. Thanks so much.